Hey everyone, before this video starts, I'd like to give a special thank you to all my Patreon and Twitch subscribers. If you'd like to learn how to support this channel, possibly for free, just hang out till the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Holy Jesus. Oh my God. Wow. This is hot. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So I'm actually genuinely curious. Top 10 fattest people who have ever lived. It's a little old, but I'm curious.
Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. You know,
Jim, you look like you're into big women. Just saying.
seeing the power of the human body is something we truly love to watch.
This movie I think was terrible. That's what I heard. But
Whether it's someone lifting a car off of their baby or gaining 3 times their original body weight.
this guy's not 3 times heavier than he was before. What is wrong with you?
How a body can survive trauma, negligence, and other difficult circumstances makes us both grateful and fearful of the possibilities. One of the most frightening things to watch is people suffering from morbid obesity.
Okay.
Whether it's genetic, illness-induced, or psychological,
It's probably a mixture of all those things. I mean, there is genetic... I don't know. I mean, there are genetic dispositions towards being bigger. Like maybe bigger boned, but most... If you're overweight to a harmful extent, it's more than likely you. Probably like a health issue. Probably like a mental health issue. A lot of people eat to cope what they eat for coping. What am I saying? They eat a lot as a coping mechanism. And it can be very difficult to lose weight or very easy to gain weight. It's such a weird thing because I've been losing weight and I've been really exploring like why do I have these negative habits and the negative things of like having a bad day and then just diving off the deep end of the diet and like not doing it anymore. And it's a very toxic process, but you learn a lot about yourself and like what the slow steps that you need to change for life, not just for a day, right? It's usually some kind of thing. Like I remember like it's such a weird thing to communicate, but it's such a daunting thing to like not. You're like I have to eat better forever. You know what I mean? It's so weird, and then it's like upsetting. It's like oh man, because I need to stop eating sugar, which isn't that hard. But then until you think about it. Like I could go the whole day without eating sugar, and then someone's like, "Yeah, but do you remember Pop-Tarts?" And I'm like, "I do remember Pop-Tarts, bro. I do." You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay. And then what happens is people like realize like, "Oh shit, I'd like to eat something a little bad." And instead of programming it in your diet like once a week, like one little bit of like a little like maybe track the calories or whatever. You're like, okay, well I fucked up and I'm going off the deep end. So now I broke down and I had a cupcake. You know what I'm doing now? It's time to go to get fried chicken and fucking whole ass pizzas. And then all of a sudden, you just banged out like 4,000 calories in a sitting. You know?
these top 10 fattest people who ever lived are truly shocking.
All right.
But
Number
before
one.
we get started, why not become an archivist today by clicking that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. If you end up enjoying this video, let us know what you'd like to see next.
The saddest story. Number 10, Michael Hebranco.
Okay.
Michael Hebranco has one of the saddest stories on this list. He's a man who at his heaviest weighed 1,100 pounds and...
Wait, this is number 10? 1,100 pounds? Wow. Thought I was going to be number 1, but I guess I'm actually going to be like number 3.
Whose obesity eventually killed him.
No kidding, huh? Did it kill him? Okay, I didn't think so. I'm 342 pounds now, and my doctor's like, "Yeah, your heart's bad. It's not bad, but he's like, if you eat like this, it's gonna be bad." And I was like, "Okay, I got to start eating a little better. Slow process." That's 342 pounds. Imagine I was just a little heavier at an astounding 1,100 pounds. Yeah, I'm surprised he made. It's an accomplishment in and of itself just to make it to 1,100 pounds without just crumbling in on yourself. Honestly.
His story is much more complicated than that, though, because during his life, when he weighed 906 pounds, he actually lost over 700 pounds, breaking world records in the process.
What?
He even started touring the country,
Wait, he went down to 200 pounds?
Lecturing on healthy lifestyles. If only that was the end of the story. Sadly, he couldn't keep the weight off, and he actually regained the weight, and then some, weighing in at 1,100 pounds. He again managed to lose
But the fact that he's walking is incredible.
A significant amount of weight, weighing in at 550 pounds in the end. But that not being enough for him to regain his health, he died due to his morbid obesity in 2013.
Wow. That's so interesting. I wonder what made him like inflate back up after he was down to like, they said like roughly 200 pounds. So he was at 200 pounds and then he inflated up to like 1,100 or 500 or whatever. I wonder what had happened, because like if you're able to, it must be some kind of crash dieting bullshit. Somebody got really upset because I said that that a lot of times people who have never been fat that try to help fat people lose weight, they don't really understand how to do it effectively necessarily, and so there's a bit of a disconnect there. Like obviously a fucking thin person can help you lose weight, but if you don't really know, like we were referencing the Wings of Redemption thing where his friend Woody had tried to help him lose weight, but he had him go on this like this boot camp where he lost 40 pounds in a month, which is not healthy. I just want you to know, and you're not setting a pattern, because once you leave that environment for a month of like doing that every day, you're going to fall off. Just like drug addicts do the same thing. They're great when they're in like the environment, like the religious environment, usually like AA meetings are very centralized around religion, or even in jail. But once they get out and they're on their own and everything's up to themselves and they lose that structure, very quickly you gain it back. And it's something that takes it takes a lot of time, because you can't just cause a fat person to lose weight. You have to cause them to lose their obese mentality or their fat mentality, if that makes sense, you know. So if you have like a fat person and you put them into a specific area and you're like, okay, we're gonna isolate you and we're gonna have you lose weight, yeah, like you can get them to lose weight, but you can't get them to lose the mentality that caused them to gain weight in the first place. You need to teach them to leave that mentality behind, and then the weight loss actually comes second. Like you have to give them the tools to lose their weight themselves, and a lot of times that's coming to terms with like why they're overweight, why they're eating so much. And like getting them on better, hey, getting them on better protocols. Like, hey, go for a half-hour walk or a 15-minute walk, whatever you can do. Hey, start drinking water instead of even diet sodas. Because like I read a study, and it's not confirmed, but they observed this in, I think, rats or something, where sugar-free stuff, apparently, there's some credibility to it, but it's not fully confirmed, can actually increase your blood sugar as well as sugar. Which is bizarre, but it does it in apparently a different way, where it like manipulates the your gut, your like the fucking bacteria in your gut or something, and it elicits a response that increases your blood sugar. And it's like, wow, like you'd be surprised how many different things seem to have a negative impact on your blood sugar. So, you know, for me, I've been trying to get away from any sugar. That might be wrong because they haven't done a widespread enough test on like people. They only did it on like rats. Or mice or whatever, but I was like, okay, maybe I should stay away from sugar-free stuff, you know? Yeah, for me, that's a big problem, yeah.
Number 9. Iman Ahmed Abdelatai.
There are more than 1,100 pounds?
To popular belief, not all morbidly obese people are in the United States. Of course, by popular belief, I mean what's portrayed on My 600-Pound Life.
True.
No, sir. Our number 9 comes representing Egypt.
And we just say that Dr. like, what is his name? Dr. N? Like, I'm sure he's a great doctor, but I've seen him, like, I watch the show sometimes, and he's like, okay, I'm going to put you on a 1,200 calorie a day diet. You weigh 800 pounds? I'm going to put you on a 1,200 calorie a day diet. That's not a good thing to do. That's not sustainable for a fat person. Like, I know that he wants them to lose the weight quick, and so maybe your argument would be like, well, they need to lose the weight fast, so they're going to die. But that's not, you can't generate a habit off of eating, going from like 6,000 calories to 1,200. Like your best bet is going from like, let's say you eat 6,000 a day. All right, well, I'm going to drop you down to like 4,500, maybe even 4,000. That's still a significant drop. That's 2,000 calories a day. That's, what is that, 14,000 a week? That's 4 pounds a week. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Like these, you have to go through like a better process to keep it off, you know? Obviously, if you're really big, you can lose more weight a week. But 6K is insane. Bro, it's real. It's a real thing. Bro, I eat 3,000 calories a day and I'm losing 2 pounds a week. You know what that means? That means I'm eating like, I sustain it like 4,000 calories a day. I actually eat more than 3,000 calories. I probably eat like 3,500 plus a day. And I lose like 2 to 3 pounds a week depending on it. Like my resting calories are probably like 5,000 calories for like to maintain this weight. Like it's crazy. Like, yeah, I know I'm tall, but like you understand that there are people who eat 6,000, 7,000 calories, 8,000 calories a day. And like, you know, don't drop them to 1,200. You know, drop them down to a little bit more for more sustainability, you know? I'm 6
She
foot
was
4.
born in 1980 and made a place for herself in history as the second heaviest woman. She was just under 4 feet 8 inches in height, but weighed about 1,100 pounds. This means she has the highest recorded body fat percentage, carrying lots of weight on a small frame.
Wow, she looks good for her size. It must be the fucking the scarf or whatever that. Sorry if I'm being insensitive. I have the beard. It operates the same way, so you can't see my walrus face.
Even from the moment when she was born, she was heavy at 11 pounds. She suffered from a
I was like 9 pounds when I was born.
thyroid problem and had to stop going to school at an early age. As an adult, she was hospitalized in 2017 to undergo weight loss treatment, during which she managed to shed about 720 pounds. However, she then sadly died of organ failure.
Jesus Christ.
Number 8. Francis John Lang.
Bro, this guy, oh my God, holy moly.
Michael Walker.
He looks, I don't want to be mean here. I'm trying not to be, but this is crazy, bro. That guy looks like the bed. Holy moly.
Michael Walker was born in the United States in 1934. He was quite a thin man in his youth, weighing only about 150 pounds. However, after serving time in the Army, he started abusing narcotics and gained weight uncontrollably until he weighed in at almost 1,200 pounds.
That's interesting because from what I've seen, people will do drugs and they'll lose weight, and then as a coping mechanism to get off of drugs, they'll become like addicted to something else, like food, and then they'll massively gain weight. I wonder if that's what happened, because the guy's obviously going through like a pretty quick like rundown on these people.
Instead of panicking when he suddenly couldn't leave his bed, he decided to make money from it in a really old-school way. He essentially became a traveling freak show of his own accord. He moved into a mobile home and exposed his body for money. People could view him through the windows he built into the home where he'd lay almost nude. He eventually was...
I mean, hey, you know what? That's not a bad business guy. I'm not trying to be rude. I would go, how much? 10, 20 bucks, 10 bucks? I'll take it would be an interesting sight to see, bro. Good for that guy. Smart motherfucker. You know, I'd be like, oh, look at that. You know, take a little picture. Pretty cool.
Was hospitalized and began to lose weight, moving away from the fast life of circus sideshows, and eventually died in 2011.
Wow.
Number 7. Walter Hudson.
Okay.
Walter Hudson once held the #1 spot on the Guinness Book of World Records as the heaviest man on Earth.
And now is he number 5? Damn, that guy's probably upset.
At his highest weight, 1,200 pounds, he was well known for his size, often appearing in newspapers and reports for getting stuck in doorways or falling on his way back to his bedroom. As we saw before,
the fact that he's still walking is incredible to me. How?
In other cases, he joined a weight loss program and was able to leave his house for the first time in almost 20 years.
Wow.
But sadly, this didn't stick, and in his 40s, at the time of his death, he had all but returned to his original weight.
That man, my man has drip. Yeah, he does have drip though, bro. He's dripping. He's drippy.
He died in 1991 of a heart attack in his home, and authorities had to cut a hole in his wall in order to remove his body. Number 6. Robert Butler.
Oh, it was number 7.
Robert Butler was an American man born in...
He just looks like every American guy. He looks literally like Wings of Redemption. Like
1971. He became somewhat of a local...
Hey, thank you so much for the sub, brother.
2002 gifted Flashy Saves a subscription.
Thank you, brother.
2002 gifted a tier 1 sub to Flashy Saves.
Thank you so much.
They have given 2 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you.
Celebrity in Rhode Island after reaching out, searching for a surgeon. His problem? He was stuck in his bedroom for a long time due to his weight. He weighed about 1,200 pounds at the time
and nice titties.
Expressed his need for surgery and his willingness to die trying to become a freer man. He referred to his problem as...
That's like a different person. Am I wrong? This is a whole ass other motherfucking person. No? Part of his OnlyFans, this picture. Holy shit.
Food addiction, and hoped he could find help to overcome it. He had tried...
You know what's the saddest part? The saddest part is like when somebody gets so big, they get to a point where they can't do normal shit. And so you know that the only way that they're able to eat, especially back in the day too, when they didn't have access to a lot of like Uber and shit, somebody's feeding them, bro. Isn't that the most fucked up part? Somebody's getting up and they're fucking feeding this person. And they're feeding them absolute dog shit. You know? It's crazy.
Of course, and managed to bring his weight down to 600 pounds in the past, but he just couldn't keep it off in his life.
Thoughts of Wings of Redemption saying he doesn't care to lose weight? You want me to, my honest thoughts about Wings of Redemption saying that? I didn't hear him say it, but that sounds pretty on par with Wings of Redemption. Wings has the kind of person that seems to have the mentality of he just doesn't care about himself or his life anymore. I think that, like, generally speaking, he feels like his life's over and he just doesn't care to eat himself to death. It's some sad shit. He could probably turn it around, but I don't think that he's really seeing a lot of positivity in his life right now, and so everything is depressing. I mean, this guy has only one joy in his life, outside of saying sexually explicit things to his sister for it. I'm just kidding. But that's fucking video games, and people are like, "Oh, I'm taking your PlayStation account," and he gets really upset, and he gives into the trolling too much because he's very sensitive. And like that's really sad, bro. You know, like it's really sad. It's a sad thing, bro. So I mean, like, listen, if you want. Wings, I'll give you a workout routine. I'll get you almost as sexy as it's impossible to be as sexy as I am, Wings Redemption. And the reason I say that is like Wings Redemption is the kind of guy who would date one of my exes, you know, because every single time I break up with a girl or they break up with me, they always date somebody that looks like me but like worse. Because I'm a sexy fat guy, 6'4". I'm pretty. I'm sexy. I said sexy and fat at the same time. I'm sat. And then, like, you know, that's, you know, unfortunately, I have no more exes left. You know, but I can help you a little bit, brother.
Life ended at the age of 43 on the operating table due to sepsis. Number 5, Carol
Is that sexiness?
Yeager. Were you
Whoa, the Beast Titan.
due to sepsis? Number 5, Carol Yeager.
Whoa, the Attack Titan. The founder Titan, Carol Yeager. Okay, enough of that joke.
Were you
Only like fucking 3% of my audience is going to understand that joke.
left wondering who topped Iman Ahmed Abdelatai on the list of heaviest women in the world? Well, you found her. She's not significantly heavier than Iman Ahmed and weighs the same as a lot of our previous cases, 1,200 pounds. She was born in the United States in 1960 and died at the age of 34. Growing up, she says she started suffering from an eating disorder after being sexually abused by a family member.
Jesus Christ. Look at how gross that sandwich looks. Also terrible about the sexual abuse. It's fucked up, bro. That shit is fucked up. It's one of the... But I just don't understand the sandwich. Like, it's all carbs. Like, what's the point of this? Like, why? Why do you need the bread? You know what I'm saying? Also, you can't eat that. It's show food, you know. But take the bread off. Wrap your chicken in lettuce or something, or like I do, take the lettuce, tomato off, and wrap your chicken in bread with cheese. That's good for you. It's good for your soul, not so much your body.
It's suffering from an eating disorder after being sexually abused by a family member. Shortly before dying in the
did I feel like I watched her?
hospital, she was removed from her home after not moving for almost a year. With help, she dropped about 500 pounds,
good for her.
but was still morbidly obese and eventually died of organ failure and other problems in 1994.
I'm so sorry for laughing, but it clicked in my head. They were like, she lost 500 pounds. I'm like, that's a lot. But she was still 700 pounds. Holy fuck. And I was like, oh shit. Fuck, bro. Like, that's nuts. You know?
Number 4, Juan Pedro Franco. Juan Pedro Franco is another case outside of the United States
Is he gonna be 1,300 pounds? Give me somebody outside the 1,200 range. You know?
that proves there is some hope to be had on this list.
All right, positive
he was born
news.
in Mexico in 1985
What the
and is
fuck
still
is
around
that?
today to prove to everyone that
Nice.
change is possible. At his peak, he weighed 1,312 pounds.
That says 1,311 pounds. Asshole, fuck you. I can read. You dickhead. I'm just kidding. But it's been 2 years since this video. This guy's probably fucking dead.
And took the title of the heaviest man alive. Eventually, he underwent 2 weight loss surgeries, which cut his food intake drastically. Within 2 years, he had shed half his body weight. He was also looking
Still a lot.
to attempt a 3rd surgery that would cut that weight down even further. For a man that once had to be hooked up to oxygen and was restricted to his bed, changes this big prove that determination and a good support system can turn your life around. Number
That's
3,
true.
Manuel Uribe.
I'm just curious.
Number 4, Juan Pedro.
Okay, I just want to like look this guy up. Juan Pedro Franco. He got coronavirus and he survived. Whoa! He's alive apparently. Wow. And he got through coronavirus. Jesus Christ. How? This guy's a tank. Literally.
Attempt to be determined. Number 3, Manuel Uribe.
I thought that was a girl. Sorry.
Coming in at number 3, we stay in Mexico to find Manuel Uribe, a man born in 1965 who spent 6 years confined to his bed. After gaining weight, living a sedentary life, he eventually lost his whole life and his happiness to the extreme size of his body.
Wow.
At a regular weight, Manuel Uribe weighed
He has very nice eyes, though. Very nice eyes. And dentures.
just under 300 pounds. He took to bed in 2002 and sank into a deep depression that put his weight at record-breaking highs, reaching 1,230 pounds at his highest. He became a well-known Mexican celebrity. He eventually got down to 867 pounds, got remarried very publicly, and then died
Wasn't the other guy heavier than this guy? Why was he ahead of him?
at the age of 48 in 2015. They say his death was caused by liver and cardiac conditions, but it's not confirmed. Number 2, Khalid bin Moshin Shari. For number 2 on our list, we go to
He looks kind of like Drake or Josh. He looks like Josh from Drake and Josh here, doesn't he? Is it Josh? Josh Peck. Yeah, he looks like Josh Peck. You know. Okay.
Saudi Arabia, where, back in 1991, Khalid bin Moshin Shari was born. Khalid is one of the most shocking turnaround stories
I'm not calling you a truther. you know, for this show. You know.
on this whole list. He was the 2nd heaviest person in recorded history, weighing in at 1,340 pounds.
Wow.
He had the highest body mass index ever recorded and was even ordered by the king, Abdullah bin Abdulaziz, to be removed and transferred from his home to the capital to receive treatment.
Nice.
After receiving treatment, he lost 710 pounds in just 6 months.
Wow.
He continued to lose weight, and eventually it was reported that he had dropped down to 150 pounds.
Wow. Jesus.
And was now healthy.
What's crazy, though, is you can see that he's still a little, like, he got some rolls on him. It's probably all of the skin. Like, good for him. It's just crazy.
Number 1, John Brower Minnick. Of course, we couldn't stay away from the United States for long. Number 1 is back at the States, where we meet John Brower Minnick.
Okay.
Born in 1941 in Seattle, Washington.
This dude's old. Damn. This is a national treasure.
At age 12, John Brower Minnick weighed almost 300 pounds.
Wow.
He was diagnosed with a condition called generalized edema, in which his body accumulated fluid. In fact, at his heaviest, about 1,400 pounds, about 900 pounds.
Hey, it's just water weight, bro.
Pounds of his body mass were just retained fluid.
How much?
Pounds. About 900 pounds of his body mass were just retained fluid.
I don't believe that, but okay.
Can you imagine? Of course, at this rate, he was constantly being treated for issues with his organs. He was so large that during the treatment of his
Is he still alive?
congestive heart failure, it took 13 people to turn him over. He lived only thanks to a strict diet enforced by physicians.
Is he alive?
At the time of his death, at the age of 41, he weighed 798 pounds.
Wow.
Thanks for watching. Do you know of any inspiring stories of people who lost weight and are now healthier?
You know what I did notice, though? This guy's got a brain.
Hey, YouTube.
As his picture, like only JS. I wonder if she stole that from him. Sounds like he does similar content.
Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.